Hello, I'm Dr. Clint Sexton with Naperville Integrated Wellness, and today I want to talk about Hashimoto's disease flare-ups. So Hashimoto's disease is an autoimmune condition. This is where the immune system is attacking the thyroid gland. And so what can happen with these flare-ups is that anything that's going to put a trigger or put a stressor on the immune system can ramp up and activate another wave of attack on the thyroid. And so that results in increased inflammation, and that can even alter hormone levels in the body, whether you're taking thyroid medication or not. So when we're looking at this, we want to look at things that could trigger the immune system. So let's say you get an illness. Let's say you catch a virus or you have a bacterial infection. Anything like this, stressor on the immune system, can trigger symptoms that are going to seem very much like a thyroid problem, like maybe a fatigue, maybe a constipation, maybe even insomnia, maybe mood changes, and you're gonna think it's gonna be because either you need to be put on medication or your medication isn't working or you need to change medications or something like this. But we're not really talking about what's happening with the hormone itself. We're looking at what the immune system is doing. So other triggers would be stress. Stress triggers the immune system, triggers inflammation, can give you a lot of symptoms that seem very thyroid related. Again, let's say we go back to the gut, so maybe we're eating foods that are triggering the immune system, like food sensitivities or food allergies, or maybe we have an overgrowth of yeast in the gut, which is putting a stress on the immune system. Maybe we've had a change in other hormones, so maybe you're going to perimenopause or in menopause, or started taking birth control or something else involving hormones. Hormones will also have an impact on the immune system. So this is what we mean by a flare-up with Hashimoto's. And so what I want you to do is remember to direct your attention towards the immune system as opposed to going, it must be something with my thyroid hormones. So I'm going to talk about two types of what I call different flares. There can be a hyper flare or a hypo flare. Let's start with the hyper flare and how that works. So let's say that you're taking a thyroid medication, got your dose settled, everything seems fine, and then we have something that triggers this flare with Hashimoto's. The immune system then launches an attack on the thyroid. It's going to damage some thyroid tissue, and you're going to spill out some hormone that your thyroid was still making. So now you have your medication plus this hormone that can be spilling out at different times during this flare-up. So that's what I call a hyperflare. That would be like when you're having issues with insomnia, or all of a sudden you get heart palpitations, or you feel a little more anxious, or things associated with hyperthyroidism, because in a sense you are at that moment. Medication plus the hormone that's been spilled out from the thyroid. Now, if the thyroid is so damaged that it really doesn't make hormone much anymore, that's not really going to happen. But that's one side. That's what I call a hyperflare. A hypoflare would be where all of a sudden you're just fatigued and you have brain fog or maybe constipation, and you're maybe gaining weight or things that we would associate with hypothyroidism. Now again, let's say you're taking medication, nothing has changed, but now what's happening is that because of the immune system and the inflammatory response, the way your body is going to use that hormone or convert that hormone into a useful type, like converting it from T4 if you're taking levothyroxine into T3, or how much of another type of T3 you're making, something called reverse T3, which blocks your good T3. All of those can change when we have this Hashimoto's flare. So again, it's not a matter of, got to get in and, change the dose of your thyroid medication or change to a different type of medication. When you're having a flare-up like this, you don't mess with that part of it. You put your attention on the immune system. And that's everything that's behind these flare-ups that people experience. Something has pushed the immune system, pushed and triggered the autoimmune response towards the thyroid, and you're going through this immune inflammatory wave that goes through. And this isn't just with Hashimoto's. This can occur with any autoimmune condition, these flare-ups. But today I was talking specifically about how it relates to Hashimoto's and to focus on the right thing. If you have Hashimoto's, most of your attention needs to always be on the immune system. Okay, it's not always about the hormones. And more often than not, when we do testing, we look at it, it's usually not something related to the hormone or level of hormone or the medication the person's taking. Sometimes it is, but you got to look out for these flare-ups. So hopefully you found this helpful and just a different view of how you're looking at the condition, and recognizing, hey, I might be in the middle of a flare-up here that can last for a while, and understand the mechanism behind that. Okay, thank you.